Hey guys, Jesse here, Road Rant. So I just wanted to talk a little bit today about stress, dealing with stress when it comes to Nofap, and how you can minimize your stress levels when you're doing Nofap, and also a little bit of my story, my backstory with Nofap itself. So as you know, we all have we all go through life, and we all deal with stress, and most people relapse for two reasons, and the two reasons are boredom and stress. So if you're getting stressed, if you get stressed out and you're having a stressful day, maybe you came home from work, or your family's giving you problems, or something didn't go right in your life, sometimes you'll feel an urge to just masturbate, to just like release your pain, release your stress, release your struggle. And if you do that, you're gonna just pretty much submit to if you're trying to do a 90-day streak, or even like a whole year streak, and you submit to stress, it could be really bad, and it's going to be really bad to break out of that mold, because once you start masturbating again, or once you break your streak, you could go into this zone where you'll be PMOing for the month, or 2 months, or 3 months. I think that porn is extremely dangerous, and I've struggled with it a lot throughout my life. I started watching porn when I was 10, but I never masturbated to it until I was 21. So I would watch it, I would get a boner and I would watch it, but I would never masturbate to the porn. So I only started masturbating to porn when I was 21, after I got into a relationship, after I broke my virginity, and after that, it was just a string of a lot of hardship, and honestly, porn screws you up. It screws up your mind. The way I handled porn was, it was just a really bad thing, and I couldn't handle it because it was just something that was really screwing me up. I don't think I didn't get my full potential because porn was always in the way, porn was always like stopping me from reaching my full potential. In the beginning of my life, I wanted to do become an artist, and I wanted to practice arts, and I was just doing it. But I realized now that I could have become a great artist if I didn't watch so much porn. And the reason we watch porn is because we want a partner, we want a girlfriend, or we want to have sex, because most people are driven by sex, because sex is an emotion, right? So I was just really driven by sex, and it screwed me up. If I pointed that sexual transmutation into my craft, into doing arts, I would have been so good at art right now. So anyways, we're moving away from the topic, how to handle your stress with without going into pornography, without jacking off. So try practicing meditation, and an app that I would recommend on your phone that you could use for meditation is an app called Calm. So it's CALM. You just plug in your headphones, you put on the Calm app, and You could do it for like 5 minutes, you could do it for 10 minutes, and it's just a soothing like sounds from the earth. Or you could do like the rain in the background and just meditate for like 5-10 minutes. If you do that every day, you'll become less stressed, you'll become more focused, and you'll be able to tackle your problems a little bit better. It won't be like your problems won't be that bad. That's what happened to me. When I started meditating, I feel more calm, I feel more in control of my issues and my problems. And I know that I can, solve my problems, even though I know that, I'm going to have a lot of problems. You're going to have a lot of problems. No life is perfect, right? But you have to meditate a lot. Meditate as much as you can. And that will solve like 80% of the problems so far. Also, what you can do is, focus on trying to focus on your energy on like your craft. And I've said this before in a few other videos, but that I feel reduces your stress. Another way to reduce your stress is going to the gym, being active in the gym, working out. If you work out a lot, you start to reduce your stress levels. You reduce your blood level. If you have high blood levels, then you could reduce it by just, going to the gym helps you a lot too. So, with that said, if you want to avoid boredom and relapsing from boredom, you should have a hobby. You should have something you're doing like on a daily basis. For me, I like to read. I like to work on my project, which is my business, my consultancy. And I feel that helps me out, reduce the boredom. And I fill in the gap between the boredom and the spare time that I have. So with that said, we all started weird on Nofap, and I honestly discovered Nofap with Reddit. I never even knew about Nofap until I think a friend of mine when I was in college told me about it, and I was just like, okay, let me try this out, because I was already trying to get rid of porn, but I didn't know there was a community until my buddy told me in college, and I was like, wow, there's a community on Reddit, this Nofap community. So I checked it out, and I did my first 60 days on there. And I remember I felt like a bliss, like it was like, wow, this is what life is all about. Because when you're doing Nofap, it's like you open all the senses. When you're fapping all the time, you're draining all your senses into fapping. You're draining all your energy into fapping. So when you are not doing it anymore, you regain all the senses that you had. You have a higher sense of smell, a higher sense of taste. Emotions are deeper. When you feel sad, you feel fucking sad, dude. Fuck. When you feel depressed, you feel fucking, holy shit. Man, sometimes, I deal with a little bit of depression too in my life, especially like failing business. And when I'm doing Nofap and I fail at something, I feel like fucking garbage, dude. I feel like garbage. I just feel like, wow, what's the point? What's the point? And I'm sure we all deal with we deal with like sadness, depression, loneliness, but don't let that cause a relapse. There's a community out there, and there's also the Reddit community. You can always reach out and find partners on the Reddit community. I also have, my own group that you can also access, that I have the link on the bottom of this video too. And you can always access that group too. I'm always there for support. I'm trying to grow that group into a big group, so there's more people. But otherwise, there's many ways to deal with, you know, your stress level and your levels of, well, with your levels of boredom. But don't play video games to get rid of the boredom, because that's kind of like substituting one dopamine addiction for another, and that doesn't really make sense. So don't do that. If you want to tackle, you know, Nofap, you have to do all the right things. So with that said, you know, I hope you have a great day, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Join the community, the link's below, and I hope to hear from you in the comments. Leave a comment below. I love to hear from you. All right, take care, guys.